Whoa. I'll get you.
Stream is starting. The Captain Coder at the helm. Bean water is ready. Today we will learn a lot. He loves the questions, he loves to sing. Join our Discord, follow him.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you happen to be in the world. Captain Coder here on this beautiful Tuesday. It's gonna say Monday. I haven't streamed on a Tuesday in quite a while. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you happen to be. Booyah, Grandma. Thank you so much for the raid, folks. If you guys don't know Booyah, Grandma, I'm sure you do. But if you don't know Booyah, Grandma, incredible game dev, incredible streamer, incredible human being, all around incredible person. If you want to watch a handsome bald man work on games, go check him out. Booyah, Grandma, how do you get your head to be so beautiful? How do you get your head to be so beautiful? I'm so scared. Look, look right here. This is starting to happen to me, and I'm so scared, but I need to know straight razor. Gotcha, straight razor. Will you do my head? Booyah, Grandma, will you do my head? Do my head for me, Booyah, Grandma. I'm scared of the straight razor. You're such a handsome fellow over there. Folks, be sure to you have gorgeous hair. Look, I'm starting to get gray hairs. I'm starting to get bald spots, and I'm scared. We had a hat. We can imagine the cat ball too. Thank you for the hat redeemed, Two Nerdy Nerds. Let's get a hat added on here. Here, let's find a good one. Find a good one to start us off here. Where'd it go? Oh no. All right, we'll start with a regular hat. Sorry, I don't know, it's in there somewhere. There's too many hats. Gotta start pulling some of the other hats off to be able to see. Find the good hats. Oryx, thank you for the second hat. Let's get another. There it is. This is what I wanted to do. Thank you for the hat. There we go. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Booyah, Grandma. Thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream? I hope it went well. Tell us all about it if you'd like to. It's so wonderful to have all you fabulous people here. Two Nerdy Nerds, always a pleasure to see you. How are the nerds on this beautiful day? Dramox, congratulations on your first. Mooniz, congratulations on your second first. Yeah, it's the first, but the second one. You get it's half the points, but twice the fun. Maybe still in first though. Code Monk, welcome back to the stream. It's great to see you here. This stream a bit earlier than usual. No, so this is the normal time. I just don't normally stream on Tuesday. Well, yeah, it's about 24 hours earlier than usual. So that's actually true, Oryx. We ended strong. Was a good one. Glad to hear it. Solomon, congratulations on your number 4. I'm sorry you said I came as soon as I got notified. I'm sorry that you didn't quite get it there at the beginning. Dark wood dragon has followed me on this beautiful day today. You know, Skylark wood dragon, welcome to the stream.
Our
Dev Dad,
dopamine.
thank you so much for the
I
raid.
got that
Holy
fix.
cannoli, that's a huge raid.
Oh.
Thank you for being here. Folks, if you guys don't know the Dev Dad, be sure to go give the Dev Dad some love. The Dev Dad, if that's the right command. Making an app. Oh, I always get it wrong. I need to switch that command to be the Dev Dad. I said Dev Dad. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the raid. Tell us all about your stream. If you got a raid run, no words. If you got dad duty, thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing your people in. Love you, my friend. We got a couple other people to welcome. Boop, Skylar Muffin, and Rihanna. Boop, Skylar Muffin. I want to boop Skylar Muffin today. Thank you, Skylar Muffin, for following me. Thank you so much. And then Rihanna, Rihanna, how are you today? I gotta thank you for following. Thank you for following me. I bet to be. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Absolutely glad to have you here on this beautiful Tuesday. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Two nerdy nerds. Mary Cat, it's always a pleasure to see you on this beautiful day. We've got so many people to thank for being here. Smab, it's a pleasure. We're going to take a look at some of those. So we got some pull requests today, folks. We got some pull requests we got to get through from Idrinth and Smab. We're going to go look at those. We're going to see how those are. For those of you who are just joining me who don't know who I am Captain Coder. Captain Coder is me, and me is a Captain Coder. And Captain Coder is a computer science educator. I teach computer science and programming full-time. It's my full-time job. Here on Twitch, we make a variety of different projects. We're currently working on a tactics combat game. Really, we're working on an engine for creating a tactics combat game inspired by a board game here. Is this a recording, Dramulks? Yes, it is. Dramulks, yes, it is. And I knew you were going to ask that. This is a recording. Dramulks, how you doing, my friend? It's always a pleasure to see you. How's your game? Your game's still scheduled to come out later this century? Your game's still scheduled to come out? Where's the docs? We have some docs here. Are you talking about like in the code documentations? If we go to the wiki, there are some docs about how this should work. So we do have some docs here. No, we're still working on our board, so we do have some docs. But you know, we don't. It's not. If someone wanted to add in some documentation and do a pull request, that's not a terrible idea. Great to have you here, Boop, Skylar, Muffin, Rihanna. Wonderful time. Booyah, Grandma. Pooh Stack, I didn't say hello. Docs for contributing. That's a good question. We should add in how to contribute would be a good idea. Basically, open up a pull request. Choose an issue, add an issue, open up a pull request, submit it. But having docs on how to submit would be a good idea as well. Hang out in the Twitch Discord, hang out on Twitch, hang out on Discord, ask questions. That's the easiest way right now for me. It's such a baby project, such an infantile project. In its infancy, I shouldn't say it's a project for babies. It's a project that's currently just a little baby. It's just a little guy. Oryx, thank you so much for hanging out with us, Dev Dad. Enjoy your day, my friend. That other PR appears to be someone changing the white space on the template app CSS. Gotcha. Let's take a look at that. I hadn't seen that one yet. This is, yeah. So this one, I'll just let them know that this is the template file. Probably don't want to do that. I haven't even looked at this. This is crazy. This background here is hilarious to me. It's like the image encoded in a base64 data. That's funny to me. I didn't even realize that. Also, indentation is deliberate. Yeah. Indentation in the template is deliberate, or the indentation that this person did is deliberate. I'm assuming this is the indentation that is provided by. I'm wearing a new shirt and this tag is driving me crazy. Sorry, it has a crazy tag over here. I might have to cut that off. In the template, gotcha. So we're probably going to say no on that one. I mean, it would be a fine contribution, but it's not any written code, so we will probably pass on that one. AO and Dev, welcome back to the stream. Wonderful to have you here again, my friend. All right, so let's hop in. We're gonna take a look. Let's add in a little message here. The app.css file is a generated file for the default application, and and the indentation in that particular CSS file is deliberate. Close with comment. There we go. All right, let's go on to this one here. This was an interesting one. Is this a draft or is this one ready? It looks like it's ready to go. Making some changes to what we did yesterday. Let's take a look, Smab. Only update the dictionary if the figure is calculated to be bigger. Hash set can use change. I've been trying to get in the habit of doing this. I keep forgetting. I've been trying to get in the habit of using that. Get value or default, common pattern that can be used to replace get value or default. Interesting. Let's see what we did. Let's see what the changes. I have something new for Saturday Showcase. Someone added emulation of my retro project to MAME. Oh, very cool. Now you can run it in the browser. That's sweet. What are H files doing in the root dir? Those are just some script files I use to do a variety of things. I need to add command scripts. Smab, I finally understood what you were saying by command scripts. I didn't quite understand. I thought you were wanting me to write batch scripts, like Windows batch scripts for you, but I think I understand now. Let's take a look here. You do not need to run them. I can show you what they do. PSWH also works for running bash scripts. I can show you what they do in just a minute. There should only be a few. There should be 2 of them. But let's look at this real quick, Solomon. I believe one of them is for running the test coverage, and then the other one's for running mutation tests. So there's 2 tests in there. One for test coverage, one for mutation tests. You can run them by hand as well. It's just I don't want to have to remember the whole command. And the coverage tests are actually complex enough that you want to do. We'll take a look at that. Good question. Let's add this to the queue. Queue mutation tests. Just to talk you through it. Javasaurus X. Welcome back to the stream. Okay. I like this change a lot. There is something here. Let's look at this in context. Let's expand this whole thing. I want to look at the whole method here. So we loop through here. Add figure. If the so we get the figure. Oh, you've replaced this. Okay, you say get value or default. Create a bounding box. Positioned.position. If it's greater than, I don't quite understand why we need to do this. Because I know you're saying only increase the size if we have it larger. Every time we encounter a letter, it should be larger. So I don't quite understand this here. No, the green here. The green is I don't understand the introduction of this if statement. It should always be bigger than what was previously there. How have you been, Nick? I've been doing wonderful. Welcome back to the stream. Great to have you here. It's always great to have you. It isn't larger every time you find a letter. So I don't know if that's true. Under what circumstance? The only time would be the first time. I think I was adding it in twice. Can I look at this code? Hang on, let's look at this code in. We're gonna try this here. GH PR checkout. What is the command? Checkout. I want to look at this code in context and 76. You should only ever be larger because every time you find a letter, it should be larger because we're a 2D array, right? I want to look at this in context. Solution Explorer, ASCII board. This is in our add figure. Add figure. Okay. Figures get value or default. I like this. Okay. We have a default position here. Solomon, use exclamation point Q to ask your question because I want to focus here for a second. Create a bounding box. Positions, dot position. What is... From the incoming position. So this is from the bottom left corner, or sorry, bottom right corner to the original corner. So can you give me a situation where this would actually be bigger, Smab? No, that's fine. This if statement is new. This if statement is new. This if statement feels unnecessary. I can't... What situation would we have the letter... See the line above? Is it because you've added this one? There's a comment. I don't see... I want to view this. How do I view it side by side? Hey, hang on. Let's look at diff here. In the chat. If you get the middle letter on a 3x3, you already have the width of 3 and height of 2. Oh, I see what you're saying. So all right. So if you have this as we're scanning, really we only want the bottom right one. Really is the one. I see what you're saying. So if we're here, we're scanning this one. This middle one, it's special, right? So we shouldn't update it. Okay, I see. All right. Okay, I can see that. Thank you for the clarification. In my mind, it didn't matter, but I see it now. Okay. I like this change. Thank you for the clarification. That makes sense. Okay, cool. All right, looks good to me. Yeah, the get value or default, I like that a lot. That's what I said, like, oh, this is great. And then this here, this was confusing to me because in my mind it didn't make sense because, well, every time we see a new letter, there's no way we saw that letter yet, but it's because I was still thinking we were doing this in a way where we're like loading all the letters into a hash map and then finding the top left and bottom right corner. I forgot that we had done this as position figures. And so in my mind, I'd already figured anyway, doesn't matter. Thank you for this, these changes. It looks good. Ooh, I should do this from the command line, right? Let's go ahead and merge it in. It's going into main. Awesome. Hang on, I'm gonna practice from the command line. All right, GHPR. Do I just, because I'm not gonna be able to merge into main because it's protected. Do I still have to do it from the web? Is there an approve option? I think there is, Coder, there is a unit test. Great point. And welcome to the stream here. I don't want to do a push force. Didn't know if you were aware of the other dictionary methods, so I wanted to highlight it. No, sorry. I was just, this if statement was the only spot where I was like going, I don't think this matters. And it doesn't really matter, it turns out. Merge to main, then push. So I can't do the main branch is protected. So get push won't let me do it. I was confused because I thought I was doing something slightly different. I don't think this is confusing. Let to be clarified. I would prefer not to do a forced push. I want to see if I could do it using GH here. No, what I'm saying is the main branch is protected by GitHub if I try and push to it, even with a force push, it will say that you're not allowed to. You can only do pull requests into it. Unless I check the box that says override. Maybe you can do a force push. I don't want to do it that way. I was wondering if I can do it this way. Mark pull request ready for review. Merge a pull request. This is what I want. This is what I want to do here. GHPR merge. And this is 76. Let's see what it says. Create a merge commit. Okay, yeah, this is what I wanted to go for. Boom. Delete local branch. Boom. I like it. What's next? Submit. Okay. And it put me on main. I like that. Awesome. All right, get check out 73. And we're going to merge this in here. And it works with the default config when you create a new private. I never use pull requests. I have specifically set up my main branch to not allow me to do pushes into it. All those can be passed as options as well. Okay, there we go. All right, let's take a look at these here. We're going to fix a few things. First one, let's get my queue up here. Yeah, we're going to rebind F12s. Makes sense when you commit with multiple people. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's the whole thing here. All right, so I believe if I go into key bindings, if I type in F12 here, go to definition. Okay, so I want to, so there was F12. What was the other one, Smab? So let's change this. What would be a good keybind for go to definition? I need to just do control click. I gotta think Alt F12 was the other one. Nope. Alt F12. Edit peak. I really liked this one. Do we have, if you right click on the method, you can see them all. Gotcha. I tend to transfer IntelliJ bindings to other editors. I've been using, so it was Alt F12 peak, go to definition, go to implementation, find all references. Maybe I need to just, so I might just rebind where F12 is on my keyboard. Let's do it this way. Keybinds. We're gonna change F12. See, the thing is, like, having it just F12 there is hard. Alt Q was the original in the IntelliJ. Let me see if I can just remember to use F12 in such a weird place on my keyboard. F8, is F8 being used by anything? It is. So that's the thing, all the F keys. All of the F keys, what about control? Yeah, all of these things are, can just remap the keyboard when in VS instead. Exactly, that's what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is, so I have, all right, so anyone who doesn't know, I have a Kinesis Advantage Pro. It's a little bit, let me wipe it down here before I show it off. Here's my keyboard. So this keyboard, F12's like up here. It's really awkward for me to get to when my hands are in a typing position and I'm using a mouse. I'd prefer for it to be on my left hand, or I might add it to a foot pedal. That's another option. My brain doesn't want, I didn't mean to make changes to this file. Don't save. There we go. This keyboard is like, not 1987, but it's quite old. This keyboard is quite old. I think I've had it for 16 years. Let's see. No, 12 years. I've had it for 12 years. So it's 12 years old. It was probably, I think I got it used at the time. Dirty Puddle, welcome back to the stream, by the way. Don't use F4. Let's see what it's bound to. Well, here's the thing. The Kinesis, I can actually make it so that it's context sensitive to this program as well. That's key bindings. Let's see what F4 is bound to. Properties window. Okay. What if I changed? All right. So F12 was go to definition. Maybe I just leave it there. Maybe I just I bite it and get used to it. Let's see if I can just get used to it. Let me see if I can just do it. Do old keywords have anything different to the keyboard we use now? I don't know if they do as far as the Kinesis one goes. Yeah. So let's take a look here. I'm just gonna try and remember. I need to practice F12, Alt F12 for peeking, right? Shift F12. This is what I need to do. I need to practice these things so that I remember to look at them. Hang on. I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry about that. I am the reader. I am the K reader. I am the creator. I am the creator. Welcome to the stream. I am the creator. I'm not the creator, but they followed me. I am the creator. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. Happy Tuesday, my friend. Okay. So let's look at some of these other questions. If we get through them. Oh, I was going to talk about mutation tests. All right. So mutation tests are kind of, you have unit tests. All right. So we have our unit test, bash coverage.
Whoa.
Good XP. Thank you for the raid. Welcome back to the stream. How the heck are you doing, my friend? I hope your stream went well. Good XP. Welcome in. But let's look at what unit tests are. So a lot of people know what unit tests are. Samuel, welcome to the stream. Happy. What the heck is today? Today is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. My brain couldn't handle it. So our unit tests run against our method test. So here's our coverage report. And you come in here and you can get line coverage, right? So it tells you how many lines you cover. You can overfit your test, right? Overfitting test is interesting. That's too high. Well, I don't have that many codes. So keep in mind here, this number, I've only have 250 covered lines. I only have 272 lines of code that can be covered. So it's a very small project currently, right? It's a very, very small project. What mutation tests do is they go in and they look at what your code is testing, and then they change your code. So they're like, okay, your tests are passing. Let's go modify your code. If the tests still pass, it suggests that those tests may not actually be doing much real coverage. So mutation tests put mutants into your program. Is there a second? So it's not a second set of tests. It's because you don't have, I need to figure that one out. It's trying to, let me look at one of mine. Real quick. I don't know why, but for some reason, I think I have to preview. It's failing to write this. It's not that any tests are failing. It's that I don't think you have permission to ask this bot to do something on your behalf. And I don't understand that. So that's failing for everyone. It's just submitting this coverage report fails SMAB, and I don't know why. This fails. It still generates one, but for some reason, GitHub Actions fails to post it. I don't know how to implement that whole. Well, I'll have to look into it at some point. I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Daniel says, I mean, it was great to have, but as soon as you build anything, you had test it to get to the main branch. Yeah. So here's what mutation tests do. Let's have a look here. So we introduced 115 changes to the code, and 3 of them survived. Let's go look at what they were. We had only 1 before, but let's look at what these 3 mutants are. Our ASCII board extensions. Let's take a look. TypeScript Tea Time. Welcome to the stream. So great to have you here. TypeScript Tea Time. Let's stop and have some tea today. Thank you for the follow, TypeScript Tea Time. Glad to have you here. How have you been? So what it's saying here, so this is interesting. So check this out. Check this out. This particular mutant says, hey, by the way, and this one feels dumb, right? So this one says, oh, maybe not. This one says you don't have a unit test, and this feels like it'd be overfitting. If I change this greater than to greater than or equal, your tests don't cover this. So even though we have a test that goes over this line, if we change this to greater than or equal to, then it doesn't fail. It doesn't fail in our test. It's not saying that the code is wrong. It's saying that there's no test that covers that particular thing. So this is what mutation tests do. They give you an idea of what your coverage actually means, even though we have this line covered. So if we go look here in our board extensions, so it's ASCII board extensions. So even though we have coverage of that line, so it's saying this line is 100% covered. We have a test that goes over this line. If we were to change this from greater than to greater than or equal to, none of our tests fail. Do I care about that particular one? This case, no. This case, no. I can show you one that's a little bit more disturbing. I can show you one that's a slightly more disturbing that I should probably care about, and I believe that one is the test feels like it's like, okay, that's probably a good thing to test. Where's the other one? This one here in position map. This test is interesting. It's saying, by the way, if you change this particular condition from going from any to all, your tests don't check against this. And so that's actually kind of surprising to me. And so that feels like, okay, maybe I should test that. If I go back to make changes to my position map, I might change that. That's a potential problem there. So that's what mutation tests are. Mutation tests take your code. They introduce common bug changes you might have. If you're making a feature PR, I would like you to write some unit tests. Yes. That said, it's more important if you're modifying existing code that our tests continue to pass. So it depends on the feature. It depends on the feature. The UI stuff, I'm not writing tests. If it's a UI feature, I don't think we need a test in there. I need to add in some better tests for testing the front end, but the front end's under like massive development currently. I don't know if that answered your question completely. How do you save the current status and tile status? That is in our board data. Okay. So board data is a dictionary of tiles. Well, actually, it's just a hash set of positions. So the tiles, if it's here, it exists. If it's not here, it doesn't exist. Would be nice to cache the positions. Done another method instead of calling them in multiple lines now. Would be nice to cache dot positions dot another method instead of calling them in multiple times. Depends on what you mean by cache and under what context. Maybe. I don't know. It depends on which line of code you're referring to. Which line of code? Oh, here? Instead, just cache it here. We could do it. We still have to iterate through the whole thing. Oh, this is also really bad. I discovered that this for each is really, really slow. So I need to stop doing that. Godot Engine Official, welcome into the stream. This is the first time we catch you live. That's okay. Are you doing your own challenge? Probably. Not currently. We're going to see. I really want to implement the loops, though. Folks, be sure to give Godot Engine Official a follow. Go check them out. They were had Practical NPC on there yesterday doing mechanically challenged. I think you're just referring to caching on this particular line. Right, we could cache that. I don't think it's super necessary. To vary the same way safely. All right, hang on. Just need the class var name. Okay, yeah, it's board data. Board data. All right, there we go. So this is actually an IEnumerable. So position's an IEnumerable, so it's kind of lazy. Anyway, if we cache it, we're just using extra space. If I'm going to loop through it multiple times, there's no need to cache it. So if we look at positions here, bounding box.positions is an IEnumerable. But I should just do a loop over there. So you can call toList after. Really, this is just poorly written code. I should have a for loop that goes over this rather than a for each, and then not turn it to a list. There's also, yeah, it's fine. So it's fine. No, it's fine. Backseat coding's fine. Nick, what I'll say is you can create a pull request. You can create a pull request. Go, do it. Make a pull request. Modify the code. Add it in there. See if I like it. See if I like it. Nothing's stopping you. The only thing stopping you is you. What are we working on though today? What am I trying to implement here? Let's launch this. Do I have it on Edge? Yeah. And we started this yesterday. So we're working on creating a board editor. We're making a board editor we're making a tactics-based game. And right now, we have the ability to add in, make this a little bit longer. Add in we can combine things like this. What we want to do is we would like to be able to select a section. So right now, this is the eraser tool. I'd like to be able to select this section. Say I made a mistake over here. I'd like to be able to select this section and move it to a different part of the string. Snabble, yeah, I saw that. The dot for each, I didn't realize how slow it was. I knew there was some overhead on it. The dot for each call is actually horribly slow. For each loops are quite good. Which files control the UI? That's in the web editor module. Okay, so Solomon, that is in the web editor. The whole web editor project controls the UI. All right, let's take a look at what we started yesterday. So we created some tests here. Oh yeah, that's right. So board editor extensions, we wrote this thing and I finished it off stream for actually selecting a section of the board. So given a board and a bounding box, give me another board data that is just that selected area as a sub box. So we go through and we can look at the test here to see that. Why is this saying to not run? Let's go ahead and run these tests. But let's open these up so we can see them. So we spent a lot of time building in a utility to be able to have it generate, be able to draw boards using ASCII to make it slightly easier for these tests. So these tests are currently, this is the board that's under test here. And let's talk about what the different changes, what these different tests do. Contains an empty board. So in this particular test, we say, well, if I select this area up here, the resulting board should be empty. The resulting board is empty. We end up with no board there. Okay. That's what this test is doing. This test here is saying, hey, if I select these tiles here, the expected board I should get when my selection should just be a square board like this. Okay. In this test here, it's saying if I were to select these tiles, it should include the figure in those. Oh, actually, I have the wrong section selected here. It's actually these tiles here that it should be result in a board like this. So we're testing if we can keep the figure in. This is the most interesting test and where a lot of discussion might be had. In this one, I'm saying if I select these tiles here, notice in this particular selection, we have an A here, we have a B here. So the question is, what should we do with these selections that are out of bounds? So we've selected these ones here, like this. What I have chosen, the way I've chosen to implement is we include the figure, the entire figure, and the tiles underneath that figure. Okay. We don't actually expand the bounding box that we selected with. Let me switch to blue here. We don't actually include these here or these here. Notice these are on the board up here, but we don't include those. So this is a decision that's interesting to me. The alternative would be to go ahead and include those. Should we include those? That's the question. Should we include those? I have decided no, that we don't include them. And we'll see when we play around with it, we're actually moving things around. Does it feel right? Does it feel wrong to do that? The main thing is that the figure has to have a tile underneath it to be on the board. Solomon, I don't think, what cookies are you introducing? This is, that would be my question, is what cookies are you introducing? This is all Blazor, client side. Yeah, I don't know what cookies you would introduce. So let me start with that. What I would recommend doing, if you want to add a features, we shouldn't save the board as a cookie. The board shouldn't be saved as a cookie. If you want to add a feature, or if there's something missing, what I would recommend doing first was create an issue to discuss it. So like, what problem are we solving here? Maybe saving using file storage. File storage would be fine. But I should do some guidelines. Cookies I don't think are the right choice for file storage. We should be using browser file storage instead. Client-side storage. Okay, so I don't think we want to be using a cookie-based, so old school cookies, yeah. Local storage, there we go. Local storage. So if you mean local storage, that would be cool. That would be cool. But we need to really think about, like, what is it doing? So local storage might be possible, but I wouldn't do it as a cookie per se. And so I would look into potentially doing it as a local storage instead. I would also recommend potentially, because it's actually a pretty big feature, creating an issue first so that there can be a little bit of discussion back and forth on the approach. That said, saving it, shouldn't be too hard. But yeah, so the question is, like, what does that look like? Can we save multiple boards? You could be saving the file directly to this. And that's what we do right now. Regathian, that's what we do right now. We have a save file button that just downloads it. And so we can save and load our files here. So for example, we do have, we can save and load. So here's like another board that here. So we can save and load, it's just not in the web browser right now. If you wanted to add like a local store so it's built into the web browser, I think that would be cool. I think that would be fine. Welcome back to the stream, by the way, Captain Enosa and Regathian. Captain Enosa, I hope you've been doing well. I'm not sure if I already asked you that. Sometimes I forget. All right, so that's what we do with our select. What we need to do now is I need to write, given two boards, I need to be able to merge one board into the other. Okay, so I can select a board now. Now that I have this selection extension written, so I can select this section, I need to merge. I need to be able to take a board and say, okay, add this whole other board into it. Merge them together. So I think what I want to do is public static. This is sort of a void. Maybe it should be a bool, whether or not it was successful. And so there's some interesting things here I want to be able to do, and merge boards. All right, or maybe it shouldn't be merge board, it should be add all. What do we think would be a good one? So I have this board data board, and then it would be another board data to add. Okay, and then optionally, and we're probably gonna need, maybe it shouldn't even be optionally, would be the other position, like the offset position, top left offset here. And maybe I shouldn't even let it be optional. You have to specify. It feels like you should always probably have to specify this. So this is going to be the top left of the board that we're adding in. Okay, so we're going to add this board. We'll have an offset, and maybe I should put it in between. So throw new not implemented exception. So there's some questions about this that I have to think through. Should we? What are the different things we need to do? Should we allow the board to be modified if there's something already there? I think yes. I'm thinking about like copy and paste in drawing programs. You take a chunk, you paste it in, it just goes over whatever was there. I'm pretty sure that's the feature. That's how I want this feature to work. That said, we might have a bool, or we might have something that says how to, like, what was removed. Practical, welcome back to the stream. How the heck have you been? Great stream yesterday, by the way. Folks, if you guys don't know Practical NPC, go give him some love. Incredible streamer, game dev extraordinaire, working on Memori, which was kickstarted in under 3 hours. Give him some love, folks. You know you want to. So let's rate some tests for that. Tani, congratulations on number 11, my friend. Congratulations. Can we have sonar lint? I don't know what that is. I'm using editor config right now. Had a lot of fun with mechanically challenged. Awesome. Yeah, your implementation looks really interesting. Looked like you were having a lot of fun doing it. It made me really want to work on my implementation of it as well. I should probably do that soon. I'm so busy with, there's so many things I want to do. Does anyone know how to duplicate yourself? Board selection should. Yeah, send it, Solomon, send it. We'll take a look. And usually exclamation point Q is the best way to get me to see something. All right, so we got to remember, what is the hotkey? I forget. What is the hotkey to add a new file? I'm trying to get in there. Add new item. Control Shift A. All right, so Control Shift A. I'm in Visual Studio. I don't know. Control Shift A. And so we're going to add in a new XUnit test. Do they have a XUnit? I probably could install there's probably XUnit. I bet there's a way. Yeah, they don't have that. So I'll just start with a class then. Let's see what this does. Class. It did not put it in the right place. Where does this go? Where are you? It's over here. All right. Delete. That's not what I wanted. I'm using XUnit. All right, so down here, why didn't it let me do that? Control Shift A. Do I have to click this? Control Shift A? It's not really what I want. Add new item. Why is this pulling this thing up? It used to just pull up a thing where I could type in a name. Oh, class. This is what I want. I don't know. Shift F2. Thank you, Smab. Shift F2. That's what I wanted. Add new item. Okay. I'm trying to learn Visual Studio. I'm trying to learn the tools. I'm trying to force myself to see if I can be productive in it. Regathian, I haven't used MS Test. So tell what are the pros and cons? Why use it over something like XUnit or NUnit? Has a button in the bottom left corner of the big new item. This is going to be our board. Do I already have board editor? Should. Board tools. I'll go with board editor should here. All right. And I'm going to steal the top of this. Okay. And let's go with a public here. I want to write a fact. Okay, we're gonna have a board here. We have a starting board. We have a board we want to merge in. A board we want to in public. void board editor should, maybe combine would be the better word, should add all, board data, something like this. All right, so I need 2 boards here, and then we're gonna merge them together. All right, Solomon, let's take a quick peek at this. An advanced linter in your IDE for clean code. If you want to install this in your IDE, that's fine, but I probably won't use this from the command line. We're using editor config for all our linting. So for me, I'm using .NET format for the lint. I'm going to keep this here, so maybe I'll remember to look at it. Yeah, so maybe I'll remember to look at it. As of right now, I don't see myself using this, but I don't know what the real benefits are of this tool. We get, it looks like this is just an IDE tool, right? I would need to know more, maybe send a video or something. I'm not going to take a look at it right now. MS Test is a bit less opinionated about the terminology than Action, and it used to also be way faster Action, but I don't know if that's still true. Let's add a new software to the list. Nick, no, like, I enjoyed. I like learning new things. I've never heard of SonarLint. Never heard of SonarLint. Lint. So we have 2 boards. We'll go with board data. We have 2 boards that we're sort of merging together. Under test. All right, so let's create a board here. One thing that I don't like about Visual Studio, and this is probably just something I could adjust, is where when I do this triple, I forget what this is called, string literal, this multi-line string literal, and press enter, it doesn't line this up in the way I want it to. It wants it to be out here, and I feel like I dislike that. Well, let's add in a board here. I'm gonna create some space. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Put some dots here like this. This is our under test dot to board data. Let's create another board data to add. All right, let's just add in a block like this. And I'm going to say under test dot add all. This is like, this add all feels weird. The reason I'm calling it add all is it's modifying one of the boards. If I was doing like a combine or a merge or a union with, maybe union with, what do we feel? How do we feel about union with? Feels like it might be good. We're going to do to add. And we'll do an offset here. New position. Let me put in 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go with 6. I'm gonna do 6, comma 0 is where I want to merge. Board data actual, like this. Never mind. It actually modifies the original. Implicit is typically a bad idea. Especially because there's implicit should imply that no data has changed. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna make sure that I like the explicit. We can make it so you could cast it. The implicit part, I think you're only supposed to use implicit if it's like you don't lose any data, right? No data loss. There's data loss in these for sure. So the result board data expected. Our expected board. I added this dot to board data. The expected board, I added this here. All right. This should be the resulting board. All right, now I put those extra dots because it starts doing ellipsis stuff. Yeah, so we can't represent all possible boards as strings. Mood, Moad. Let me know. I definitely pronounce it Moad. Mood, Moud. I don't know. Let me know how to pronounce it. Welcome to the stream. Great to have you here. So the ASCII board is not possible to encode all boards. Anyway, there's also like a major chunk of code that's being run. Casting should imply that there's not like a transformation. We only created it yesterday, yeah. So what we want to do is we want to say under test dot should be expected. This is like the change to it. I feel so gross not having this be functional. I like want this to return a new board, but that's okay. That's okay. Part of me wants to do a challenge where we make everything purely functional at some point. I use implicit operators a lot, especially with blockchain stuff. We have wallets, and yeah, I find implicit stuff really, I think it's bad practice. That's my opinion. I think Microsoft C# when to use implicit cast, right? User defined explicit implicit. And I think their guideline says you should typically not do it. Implicit. Implicit conversions don't require special syntax, may occur in various things, but predefined implicit conversions always succeed. They have like a guidelines, implicit conversions. Yeah, there's like at different times you should do it. And there's a lot of, there's like guidelines on when you should do it. I would recommend reading through this and seeing which one yours falls into. And I think they recommend to like, they recommend like not doing it in most cases, I believe. Should I? Yeah, so just because you can doesn't mean you should. I'm not saying you can't. So since you're doing it with match stuff, that's probably fine. It was in the same paragraph as the top of the previous page. Oh, it was me skimming instead of reading. A user-defined type can define a custom implicit or explicit conversion of another type. Implicit conversions don't require special syntax to be invoked in various situations, for example, an assignment and method invocations. Predefined C# implicit conversions always succeed and never throw an exception. User-defined implicit conversions should behave in that way as well. If a custom conversion can throw an exception or lose information, define it as explicit instead. Okay, so this is like the thing I was doing. So if you can lose it, you really shouldn't do it. This is why like doubles going to ints are not implicit. You have to explicitly cast them. Yeah, I also think it's right. So any string is not a board data, right? So that would be my argument against it. A string, I am not a board, right? Not a board. I shouldn't be able to just say, oh, by the way, you're board data, right? This feels, for board data itself, that would be my argument for it. Board data. Sorry, Snabble, I'm sorry we're boring you. Snabble, we'll move on. Cool. Yeah, I do think I've gone overboard with the casting before. I've gone overboard with it. There's some other projects where I've been like, oh, this is so cool. This is awesome to have it just change for us. And then I've shot myself in the foot a few times as well with it. All right, so our test here is going to fail. So one thing I like about Visual Studio, here's what I'll say. Visual Studio's testing tools feel much better than Visual Studio Code's testing tools. I find I'm always like finagling around saying, can I get this to work? Go do this thing, start this thing up, reload the test. I feel like I'm always running into issues in Visual Studio Code. Their built-in .NET Test Explorer, I have a lot more trouble with. Visual Studio, I like this one. Okay. So let's see, this would be one test here. Let's get this test passing. And then we'll look at another case. We'll add one with figures. Add all board data. Add all tiles. Add all tile board data. Better sort of add tiles at offset. Let's do it this way. Board editor should here. Maud, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the follow. Maud, thank you, my friend. Thank you for following me. I tend to undock the Explorer as well, so I have less context switching. If I wasn't on stream, I would, right? So part of it is I've actually ordered a third monitor. I ordered a third monitor. We're going to see how it goes with that. I felt like I had to order a third monitor using Visual Studio. Yeah, so I have a third monitor coming. It's supposed to arrive tomorrow, so we should have that next week. But yeah, I'm using Visual Studio. I'm like, I feel like I need more screen space because can I show you guys my other screen over here? It's crazy. I have no room on my second monitor. Do I have my second desktop? This is my second. You see this? This is what my second desktop looks like. It's crazy. It's crazy. There's no room. I can't put anything over there. But yeah, that's my second monitor. I need a third one because this is my entire one monitor. When I'm streaming, I feel like I can't. I need like another one. That's too much, Nick. For me, that would be too much. You have 2 ultra wide. Well, I guess I'm gonna have 3. I think I might stick with 2. I'm gonna see if I can get a bot with 2. Have implicit. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, when I'm not on stream, I've been having this be undocked. But on stream, I want you guys to be able to see it. Jev Norsky, welcome to the stream. Jev Norsky. Oh, Jev Norsk, welcome aboard. Thank you for following me. Jev Norsk, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Welcome to Captain Coders Academy. I have a single super ultra wide, usually run Visual Studio on the whole or 3/4 of it. Yeah. Solomon, what I would say is go ahead and add your feature in, and then your pull request will have to do a review for that. I would say asking permission or opening up an issue, right, is slightly better. Blazor.local storage probably feels like a good thing to add. I would go look at it. I don't have time to do all the review of it right now live on stream. Gonna give you more followers to see you sing all the time, Moad. Yeah. Sometimes I get view botted, or not view botted. What is it? I've been view botted before, but follow bot. I shouldn't even mention that because every time I mention it, something bad happens. So we're not gonna even say anything. It's too late. The damage is probably already done. The answer is probably yes, Solomon. I would say go ahead and just go for it, and then we can review we'll do a code review on it and see how we feel about it. That's probably the right thing to use, though. Okay, board extensions. All right, we want to add them all here. Add to position. You have to keep in mind, Solomon, I am very new to Blazor development, so I don't know all the tooling. I don't know what the best practices are. This is me trying to learn how to do it well. So what I want to do is I'm going to say for each, this normalize here probably needs to be pulled out. I've coded a bunch of different things. I've been doing C#. I've been doing a lot of C# in the last 2 years. But this is sort of, I've played around with Blazor a little bit, but I've been having a lot of fun with Blazor, and I wanted to learn it better. My plan this summer is I want to build a website or an application using Blazor for doing some Lua stuff. I know that sounds weird, but I've really started doing a lot of Lua in my teaching. And so I kind of want to see if I can build a website for doing some Lua stuff. And I want to, this is sort of my practice run. Well, really, we voted on this as a crew on this application here. So we're going to go through all of the positions. Yeah. So var for position, board data in board data, to add dot tiles. I feel like we need to have an IEnumerable for tiles here. I think it from .NET 4, I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is yes. It's had a lot of improvement. .NET 8 came with a bunch of improvements from what I understand. I'd used it in .NET 6 and didn't think it was bad. But I think what I want to do is, this isn't giving us actually the tile values back, it's just giving us the positions back. I want to write an extension here that will actually give us all the, I want an extension that looks like this: public static IEnumerable of tile. And I'm not sure what to call this. I already have a thing here called tiles. This might need to be called positions. I'm not sure. This one feels bad. The naming feels bad there. Tile data. Tiles data. This board data board. And this should really be board.tiles.select. So it goes through all of the tiles, and it's going to position goes to board at position. Like, I want this. I want this. Blazor server has always been great, I think. I think one of the things, so one of the complaints I've heard is, and this is me not knowing anything, is that Blazor server didn't scale well. But I have no experience with Blazor server. I've only done Blazor WASM, front end stuff. Gotcha. So that is one thing that I have heard as well, though, is it's really discouraged. It's hard to interop with other, not hard, but it's very discouraged to just use an external JavaScript library. One of the major downsides is that because we are WASM, you actually don't have access to the DOM. And so you do have to think about it. Okay, so if you don't need a large scale, that was one of the complaints that I heard. Is like, you just can't scale it well. And, you know, that can be rough. That's really rough if you ever, if you are a big company and you might need to scale at some point. That is scary. That said, I've had a lot of fun with it. MAME in the browser is also WASM. It definitely scales as MS use it on some of their public sites. Okay, gotcha. That's all I'm saying. I've read that. I don't know. I mean, none of my stuff needs to scale. It's actually easy to interrupt with JavaScript libraries, but people end up trying to use a JS framework and they try to do things the JS way from inside Blazor. Gotcha. Yeah, I do feel like it's very different than my experience with Angular. So I didn't do a bunch of front end, but I had to interact with Angular for a project. When I was at a startup, we used Angular. So I want to add this tiles data here. I suppose I could also just do this elsewhere, but I feel like I'm going to do this enough. Yeah, Sneaky Fox, that sounds like what they said about Rails. It doesn't scale, and now we have Shopify. I've actually heard, I've never used Rails, but I've actually heard a lot of good things about it. My partner, she works, she does a lot of work in Ruby, and I think that their application is Ruby on Rails. And every time I look at Ruby, I like it. Moad says, I was maintaining a .NET 4 project and hated every second of it. The old dev's code was totally bad. A view with 10K lines and no... Oh, well, you know, you can always write bad code. can always write back. And also, Sneaky Foxtrot, welcome to the stream. Great to have you here, my friend. Wonderful, wonderful. Dylan Devex, Dylan Devex, we love you. Thank you for the follow, Dylan. All right, so I want to go through to add dot tiles data. All right, so now I know I have tile, and I don't have to go and pull it out. So I'm going to go through all of the tiles data, and I want to add this into my board. Badly designed code doesn't scale yet. That's true. And if you expect basic template to scale to thousands of views, you're going to be disappointed. That's very true. Idrin, welcome back to the stream. Thank you so much for your pull request. We did have a look at it. And the code, the CSS file that you were modifying, I made a little bit of comment. The CSS file you were modifying was like a generator. No, I loved it. I love that you're trying to participate. Solomon, remember to keep coding, keep growing, keep being the best you can be. You're welcome back anytime, Solomon. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. I'm looking forward to your pull requests. How many here are working with Google Scale products? Is it just me that don't? I worked so here's what I'll say. The startup that I worked at most recently, and just so you know, so this was 6 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that. This product was used at 500, so it's not Google scale. So it was just United States, nationwide in the United States. It was used at over 500 locations. So it was like a product that was being used by people. I think it was 550 locations, and we needed to be able to handle a pretty massive amount of throughput that was going on. So 550. So this was like I don't want to call it a point of sale product, but it was a product. I don't know exactly how much I can say, but it was a product that was used by salespeople at places, and so there were like hot spots, right? Oh yeah, more than 10 million visitors a day. Yeah. So I would maybe not 10 million. I would say millions of requests per day, and more importantly, millions of requests all at the same time during hot hours. So it was like there were specific hours. So we needed to we actually couldn't have we found that we scaled up our product at specific times. So I was using AWS, we were using AWS, and the product itself, when we'd get a lot of traffic, it would scale up, and we would manage, we'd say, okay, well, this time of day, that's when we get a lot. So around closings, so between 4 and 6 p.m. are when almost all of the sales would happen. And we're talking, 100,000 to 500,000 sales per day across the nation. And so the auto scaling was really, really important for cost savings, for us, for cost savings as far as using that bandwidth, right? So there's 2 hours a day where we get 95% of our requests. We don't need the servers running the other time of the day. So I will say, I wouldn't say millions. I'd say probably millions of requests per day. But yeah, ours is working in big data. That's exactly right. Okay. So we're going to go through all the tiles. We want to merge them in together. So I'm going to do this simple way to start out, or the simplest. I want to try and do it the simplest way I can. We are replacing what is already there. We're just going to replace what is already there. So board dot. We don't have an add tile. It feels like maybe we should. That is the. So that CSS file is necessary. I don't know that it's regenerated. It was generated with the template. Let's say that. I don't know if that it actually makes sense. Tile dots. Oh, this thing doesn't have a position. So really, I wonder if I should make this be a positioned tile. Yeah, because the tiles don't know about themselves. That's why we're not returning them that way. New positioned tile. Position. So we can wrap that though. Like this. It's like, okay, well, get me all the things, wrap them all in positions, give them back to us. All right, so this would be a positioned tile. Like that. Thank you, Smab, for the clarification there. It's part of the so template, not generated. Yeah, sorry, generated was the wrong word. Templated. It's part of the template. Let me clear that out of the queue. And so our board, create empty tile. We could also do board. This might actually be better. Board dot create empty tiles to add dot tiles. This will add, actually this is better. This will add everything that all the positions, and then we just need to loop through the figures and add the figures in. I actually think this will add tiles at offset. Oh, this won't add them at the offset. Hang on. Because we need to normalize it. It's going to fail. It's going to say, hey, it should have been this, but it added in the top left corner. So we actually need to normalize them. So if we look at this, oh, we need to add in the error message as well. Board editor should, might want this error message. Error message, actual expected. And the actual is under test. But just so you can see where my mistake was here, we'll run this again. And I didn't apply the offset. You'll see it just added in the top left corner here. Okay. So in my actual extension here, I need to normalize these. And so I'm just going to still this method here. And we're going to do tiles.select normalize. So we're going to normalize them based off this offset. Maybe it shouldn't be called normalize. It should be pivot. It should be with offset. Like that. Or translate. This should be called translate. Translate. Okay. So we can translate it to our offset. Now we should pass that test. I think we did not pass. Why did we not pass? Let's add a breakpoint. Interesting. Six. That's fascinating to me. I think we'll break point there. What are the new positions? Translated. Redston! It's great to see you. How the heck are you doing? It's been a while. This should be plus the offset. That's what's going on. I see it. I see it. How you doing? How's Carbrex coming on? There we go. All right. We forgot to translate it to the new spot there. Okay. Let's add in another test because we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Board editor should add tiles at offset. We want to include the figures as well. Fact, public void, add tiles and figures at offset. So we got that first part working. It's gonna look a lot like this one. Okay, but let's add a figure. Let's make this a little bit bigger. I'm gonna add in a figure here, like that. Let's move it down so we'll add it with a slightly different offset there. And we should end up with a figure added in here like that. Okay. And this became 1. Let's do a 7 and 1. So we'll move it over even one more space. That in a little bit of extra space in between those. Redston's doing great. Took a short break from it as I was working 5 months straight almost every day. I know how that can feel, right? Working on the same project long time, easy to burn out. One of the things I've really been enjoying about the stream that I do is I work on a bunch of different projects. I feel like I don't burn out because I'm always doing something new. Always doing something new that's interesting to me and fun. Having a lot of fun with it. But great to see you, my friend. I feel like it's been a while. I didn't mean to run all. I just wanted to run this section here. You can run them all, though. This one should fail. Yeah, so overlapping is going to be the next one. I want to do the base cases. So these are our base case, right? So we have base case, like what you expect. Then we need edge cases, and then potentially corner cases, which I always struggle to think about. Like, well, what's the difference between an edge and a corner case? Edge cases are things that will happen. Edge cases are things that are going to happen but are like special. And corner cases are things that technically can happen, but they probably won't. Corners hurt more when you hit them. Yeah, they're more dangerous. Corners are dangerous. That's right. All right, so now we need to translate our figures in. So this is going to be a tricky one because what we need to do is we actually need to... Yeah, so this will work fine here. So we'll demonstrate this as well. So board.add triad figure. This is interesting here. So triad figure. We need to take our position figures and translate them all. So it'd be toadd.figures.select. So we need to translate them as well. So we have a position figure here. We do f with position equal to position is equal to translate f dot position. Why can't I type? One more parenthesis. We can't do a triad on that. We have to loop through all of them. All right. So this would be IEnumerable positioned figure. Translated figures. Oof. And I want to go, I need to do all of these. So it'd be for each figure in translated figures. Like so. And it would be board.try_add figure of my figure like this. I suppose I could do a select here as well. I could do another select and then I have all the bools as results. Or keep all the ones that fail, right? So we're going to try and add this. This is going to work for now. I believe this will work for now, but when we do the overlapping, that's going to be a problem. That is going to be a problem. All right, so let's run this and then come up with another case. Okay, we add figure at offset. So we'll do one more. We're going to do two more, I think. Add tiles and figures. Add overlapping tiles and figures at offset. Okay. So here is a tricky case. We have a figure here. We have a figure here. And we're going to merge it here at this point. Okay. So I want to merge. I want to do one. Let's move this to the top right corner. Okay. I want to merge it here. Like this. And like I said, it ends up replacing what was there. So if I add this in the top left corner, overlapping the A that was previous there, we actually have to remove the figure that was previously there to add this in. We have to remove that figure to add in. And it's only partially over. Add overlapping here. And so the position we're adding it in here is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is at 4, 2. So we're saying when we add it and it's overlapping, we remove the thing that was previously there and we add it in. This should fail. And it's going to say, well, because that triad is the triad. Every time I say triad, I think TRIAD, but it's a triad. You'll notice, oh, that's interesting because, yeah, the output's interesting because it always, there's only one figure. You'll notice though, what I said, it kept the original, didn't modify, didn't take the original out. Okay, but just for clarity, there's a B here. This is interesting. Challenge to make sure. Okay. What we do here in this case, I believe, is we'll say if we couldn't add. So there's a couple things we could do. We could always say, well, go ahead and try and remove any figure at that position. We do board.try remove figure at the position figure, but it's like all of the figures positions. We need to remove anything that was at any of those positions. And so I'm going to say, well, if we try and add it and we can't, if we cannot add it, these are the ones that we have to go and we need to remove the intersecting figure. And I want to do it this way. I'm going to select here and I'm going to keep the ones. I'm going to change this to not overlapping. All right, so we're going to keep the ones where board.triad figure. This is our fig, our F coming in, is false. So I'm not sure. I think this might be considered a really bad practice. What do we think? We have a mutation in our link call. Is this considered, should we never do this? There's a mutation in my link call. I'm not sure I like that or not. Because it's modifying the original board. But the intent is to find the ones that are not overlapping. So, okay, so when we have an overlapping figure, we need to actually remove what is blocking it and add in the new one. So these are our overlapping figures. So we tried to add all of them. We had an overlapping figure, and now we're going to say we need to go through all of the positions. We don't have to, but I'm going to do a figure dot bounding box dot positions. I'm just going to remove all of the boards, the things that might be in these spots. So then we could do for each position. Board dot try remove figure position, and we just sort of ignore this variable. So just try and remove it. Go through all those positions. If there's something there, take it out, and then we'll add, after it's been removed, we can add it back in. All right, so now there's like an exceptional case saying, hey, something went wrong. I wasn't actually able to add this thing. And if we can't add it here, board.try add figure, figure now. And this one would say if we can't add this in, really there's an exception here saying new, invalid, like something terrible went wrong, right? I don't know what to call this here. The exception that's being thrown is, well, this add failed. This shouldn't happen. So part of me thinks maybe this should be a debug.assert. Oh, no, I can't do that. I can't do that because then it'll get ignored. Result was added. And this should really be a debug.assert was added. And then we'll give it a message here. It's saying could not add figure to board. Yeah, so something went wrong in this situation here. Okay. Let's try it. Can run them all, actually, not just this one. All right, so that one passes. Did we break any of our previous ones? We did not. This doesn't feel too bad. This doesn't feel too bad. Do I need... Is there another case that I'm missing? I suppose I could write an arbitrarily complex one just to make sure, like the sanity check. So an arbitrarily complex test might be reasonable to do here, but it would just be arbitrary. I don't know what would be testing. So we have just overlapping tiles, but this covers that. I'm pretty happy with this. I don't know that we need another test. These were the 3 tests here. Okay. All right, I'm relatively happy with this. Let's check our formatting. Coverage should be fine on it, but we can double check that if we really care enough. We'll do it since we're here. Then we're gonna take a break. Let's check the coverage. Leave that open. Okay. Let's see if we missed anything that feels necessary. And also, this one's funny to me. Rework of your Doom, your upside down Doom game in Godot 4. Very cool. Very cool. This was called Board editor extensions. Board editor extensions. All right, so we do cover it. What is the complexity of this? Add all as a, okay. Let's look at all. What is it saying we're missing? Oh, it's saying that we never have a situation here. This is not tested. This shouldn't be tested because, oh, come on, bot. You can get Patrick. What's going on, Firebot? This situation should never occur. And so I'm okay with that not getting tested there. So there's a branching logic that never gets tested. And that's why I did it as an assert, because I cannot come up with a situation where I can produce it. That was like the difference. A little slow, yeah. We gotta get some. That's all, folks. No, we gotta get the Firebot a little bit of caffeine in there. Inject some caffeine into it. Speaking of caffeine, I'm out of bean water. Okay, so I'm relatively happy with this. I'm usually not a huge fan of double for each like this. But I suppose it's okay enough. The option I can have here, figure.boundingbox.positions.select. I could do this. And then we say, well, I'm just not going to use it. This feels bad. Says the guy whose record is 9. Dindle, you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. This is really how I want to write it functionally. The problem is I'm just discarding it. I don't think the idea of having, the idea of having, maybe, okay. All right, we could do it this way. So it turns out the overhead on that is pretty bad. The overhead on that is pretty bad, I found out recently. So you're suggesting I do a for each here? Instead of the select. Is there just a dot each? I think you're referring to for each. Yeah, so for each only exists for loops, for lists. So you need it. Yeah, so it needs to be a list for each to exist. I could write my own. But it turns out the overhead of calling dot, the reason it doesn't exist is it turns out there's a lot of overhead for creating a closure on it. So like this, like part of me is like, oh man, should I really be doing this? I'm not sure. What I could do here is say, so here we go. Here we'll do void remove. Yeah. Trying to decide if I actually care enough to rewrite this. This would be a void remove existing figures IEnumerable positions, and it's just this. Feels a little overkill. We'll do remove existing figures, figure.board bounding box.positions. I'm not sure if that reads better or not. Right? Because now we have to jump down here. It reads like, okay, I'm going to remove the existing figures. Like, how do I feel about that? I don't know if I feel good about it or not. Yeah, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So the reason I'm not using the select is because of I'm discarding the results, right? So I already feel kind of weird about this here. I have a mutation in my select, right? Link, having mutations in your link tend to be a bad thing. And so like, that's what I'm considering. Should I be doing that? I don't know. I'm okay with it for now. Also, Thindle. Oh, you guys don't know Thindle. Ah, too many L's. Too many L's, I did it twice. What? Guys, be sure to check out Thindle's stream. Incredible streamer, .NET developer, father of Zelda. That cat right there. Check it out. Love this guy. Love this guy. Give him some love. Overlapping.select mini. Bounding box. Why would I do... I don't understand the benefit of doing that as opposed to just... bounding box. I take the figure out, I get the positions. I don't understand the benefit. It looks complicated, so it's cool. It looks complicated, so it's cool. Yeah. Okay. I see. There's multiple. So what I don't like about this line is there's multiple things happening. We select many will basically. Well, yeah, I know it's flat map. It's flat map. I don't know what I don't need it here. I don't need a flat map. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. I don't need a flat map. I don't have a list of lists. Oh, you're saying to get rid of this for each? Oh no, we're not gonna do that. Again, I'm already debating whether or not I want this because of the side effect. The reason I don't want to write this as a link is there would be a side effect. Side effect in link. Is a type of cardiac... That's not what I wanted. Don't use methods with side effects in link. Yeah, so it's like, you really shouldn't do that. Link stinks, codes up your smell. Yeah, so I have a side effect here. And so like, I'm already thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't do it this way. Because this is a code smell. This is a code smell. Instead, that's just in general, right? Because link is supposed to be a functional code. You're creating these IEnumerables. And so it can be confusing here if there's the side effects. It comes down to like a line of code should do one thing. A line of code should do one thing, right? This does a lot of things. I think I'm going to leave it. I think I'm okay with it. I think this reads clearer than the select mini. Part of me feels like putting this in here would be fine. Is there like the unpack? In here there isn't. I can't swap this in. Yeah, I already feel like maybe I shouldn't be doing this. But let's go for it. I'm happy with it. All right, let's run our test. Make sure we didn't break anything. Do our format. See if our test passed. We'll do a commit here. And now I think we have what we need to do the drag and drop. Oh, not quite. We need to be able to remove a section of the board as well, actually. There's one other thing. So we need to be able to delete a section of the board. Lance, thank you for the hat. Let's get another hat on there. We're about to take... Lance, good timing. We're about to take a break. Thank you for the hat. Thank you for the hat. We're going to do a commit. Now we're going to get out of here. Why won't my hat stay on? There it goes. Thank you for the hats. Let me get this committed. I wanted to look, make sure nothing crazy in here. But yeah, we've been going for almost 2 hours, no breaks. So we got to get a break in here. I like that. Hat Tuesday. Let's get another hat. Thindle, thank you for the hat redeem. Get another hat added to the stack there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Add all here. I like this method. It's not bad. And then the other one was just adding in some tests. Okay. Let's get this committed. Git commit -m feature implement board data.add all. All right, push that up. All right, folks, I'll be back. We're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna get myself some more bean water, get myself some more fresh water. We're gonna continue working on this. I need to add in at least one more. We'll add in at least one more here, and then we'll see where we're at. We'll see where we're at. So don't go anywhere. Captain Coder will return. Hang tight, everybody. I'll be back. All right, sorry for the delay. We're back, Solomon. We'll take a look at your pull requests after we do some stretches. Since we're at a good resting spot, I did a commit. We'll take a look. I'm excited to see what you made, see what the pull request adds, and maybe give you some feedback. See if we can get it pulled in. See if we can get it merged in. All right, everybody. I'm going to encourage you to stand on up with the Captain Coder, get some stretches in. I try and do stretches every 60 minutes, 90 minutes. Usually do every 90 minutes, 2 hours tops. That's sort of my limit here. Get up, move around, take care of yourself, prevent those repeated stress injuries. I'm going to encourage you to stand on up with me. Get those arms up at the side. And we're going to rotate to the left, to the right. Just nice and slow back and forth. See if we can get that nice body stretch. Like if you feel any pain, stop. You don't want to hurt yourself. But yeah, give that body some love. Love yourself the way you deserve to be loved. Get those arms up nice and high. And we're going to lean in now, back and forth, both directions. Oh, doesn't it feel good to be alive? Doesn't it feel good to take care of yourself? Take care of each other. Oh, let's do some shoulder rolls. Kick the shoulders, roll them back, up, back, down, and back. 2, 3, 4, add the elbows. 2, 3, 4, full arms. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, roll forward. 2, 3, 4, add the elbows. 2, 3, 4, full arms. 2, 3, 4. Oh, shake it out. Shake it out. Very nice. Very nice. Taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, loving yourself the way you deserve to be loved. Thank you so much for joining me in those stretches, for joining me in. 125 points to all you beautiful people out there. Let's hop back in. Let's take a look at this pull request real quick that our great friend here, Solomon, sent us. Let's take a look. Glad you got those stretches in. Let's take a look. What are we adding in here? I want to keep that tab open. GitHub. Let's see what we got. Do a little bit of a review here. You shall not escape. It's true. There's no escape. Yeah, I can't escape the hat. Thanks, Lance. Let's get a hat added to the stack here. Or let's get this hat stack started, I should say. Oh, yeah. Solomon, thank you for the second hat. Let's get a second hat on this stack. See if we get the right color. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. Thank you for the hats. Thank you for the hats. Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. Let's take a look at this. Set up local storage to save game state. All right. Saving the board to have a list below the board that lists the board's imports, exports, and a load. A selection board uses Blazor. Okay. Let's take a look at it. Let's see what we got here. To prove this to run, I'm going to take this. We're going to load it into Visual Studio here. A GHPR checkout 78. And we'll take a look here. And we can review the changes. I need to get better at doing the reviews here locally. So I want to see the history. How do I find history? So how many commits do we have? Just the one commit. Just the one commit here. Oh no, we got it. It checked it out. I have your changes. I'm using GH checkout. It pulled your changes, so we're on your Solomons you made. Yeah, so we're gonna look at it. We're gonna see what we can discuss about it. If there's some feedback I can give, but let's look at the files changed here. Get diff here. Yeah, this should be an ignored file for you, I think. Yeah, so we'll put a little thing here. Redston, use exclamation point Q. Queue it up for me. We'll check it before we hop back in. Yeah. So this file shouldn't be here. Remove file. Should be part of your .get ignore. This should be part of your personal .get ignore. Same with these ones. Everything in .idea. So .idea shouldn't be included. This is like having your own .vs code. You could add this. Yeah, there's 4 of these. Everything in .idea essentially. Everything in .idea should be should be part of the base.get ignore. I believe. Oh, you want me to refresh? Okay. Boom. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Consent pop-up. This is part of why I'm not sure if I want to have cookies on this at all, because I try not to have any cookies like this. Yeah. Redirect to Google, agree and close on click. Redirect to Google. No, I don't want to include a disagree. This page requires to give you allow web page. So instead of, yeah, I'm not sure I like that. Let's see, under what conditions do you need a accept cookies? I think you only need it if you're collecting any cookie except strictly necessary cookies, right? So instead, yeah, we shouldn't be using cookies either, so I'm not sure about this. I think it's fine to have something like this if we're using cookies. I don't want to use cookies. So let's take a look here. And another thing I would say is it possible, this is me not knowing, uh-oh, wrong button. Me not knowing, but could we do this? Okay, it's invoking local storage, get it. Yeah, so this isn't a cookie, this is local storage. Because cookies are things that you like tend to, you're tracking information about it. You're a pro descriptor? Descriptor? I didn't know that. I knew you had been doing it for a while, but if you consider yourself a pro now, what? So my question is, I'm kind of okay with Blazor storage. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. According to Cricket, nice. Solomon, I don't want to say that I don't want this. I just don't. It's not adding a value currently. Let's take a look at it though. I like the idea of having it. Exactly. Like I don't want to redirect to Google. That's not a thing that I've seen happen. So like if I go to Stack Overflow, let's go to Stack Overflow. They're going to ask me if I want to. They're going to say, "Oh, have I already consented to the cookies on this page?" That's interesting. I don't see any cookie consent thing popping up here. Usually it doesn't redirect you. You just have an option to accept necessary cookies or to accept all, right? Yeah. Thank you. There it is. So if I accept all cookies or necessary cookies only, I would be kind of okay with this. That said, I don't think we're using any cookies. The other question is, right, so the biggest one that I think the reason this exists is because of targeting cookies. I don't ever plan to do anything like this with this tool. We could make, so what my recommendation, thank you so much for the suggestion for the incognito window, would be to make it say, if we do need cookies, we're not using cookies though. That'd be the one thing I'd say here. All right, so Solomon, let's take a look at it. I'm gonna run it so we can see what it looks like. And then my feedback is going to be that this isn't implementing a full feature yet. You forgot the CSS, gotcha. Should be launching here. Do I web editor launch? There it goes. Oh, actually nothing shows up for me here. Is that just because the CSS is missing? Yeah. So I would need a compelling argument for using cookies for me to include the cookie dialog. That would be my response. We shouldn't be redirecting to Google, right? At the very least, shouldn't be redirecting to Google. Just be like only accept necessary only. Yeah. Okay. While you're doing that, let's take a look at Redston's work. I'm getting into the habit of doing the blur while we do it. Yeah, Solomon, once we got that, we'll take another look after this.
You in the back. Pay attention.
Thanks. All right. Here we are. Whoop. Progress day 4. Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. This is your Whoop clone. This looks sweet. When are we gonna play this? Sorry if the volume's crazy loud, everybody. Oh man, that looks awesome. Oh, I know nothing. So Lunar, yeah, tell me all about it. Whilst I'm not a specialist in GDPR, I've been involved with it a bunch. There is a clear exemption from the consent requirement if you're only storing data in order to provide the services that the users requires. That's what I thought. Yeah, so I don't think we need the consent pop-up, right? The example is that you don't require consent for a shopping cart, but you do require consent for track the last thing the user looked at. Gotcha, yeah. I also think, nice. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Redston, it's looking good. When do we get to play? Also, folks, Redston, you still streaming? Why don't I give you a shout out anyway? Redston, sometimes I've seen him do development on stream, so go check him out if you can. You might enjoy it. I don't think I've seen you in a while, but we'll give you a shout out anyway. Oh, sweet, Redston, I can't wait to play. We're gonna pack your brain on signals. When can I pick your brain on signals? Gotcha. Yeah, so I would say I don't think we need this. I think, Solomon, what I'll say is thank you so much for the consideration. I do think this is a good thing to consider, right? Having the board stored locally in the web browser, I do like this. I really, really like it. So this is a feature I would +1 here for though. The best mod on other channels to stream themselves. It's true, Redston. You've been I've seen you be some good mods. So Redston, I know you want to be. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna say. So the way I get mods is something bad happen. I'm not gonna say anything. Because something bad will happen in my stream. Yeah. We'll talk, Redston. Let's talk. Okay. Let's go back. All right, so I want to... Oh, sweet. Yeah, Redson, I think we might make you a mod here. Well, I didn't want to say anything. I'll take over the dev side of Twitch. Git branch. Let's go back to our... Solomon, what I will do, though, since we didn't get a change in it, I'm looking forward to it. Add Solomon. I love that you're helping us out, that you're trying, and I want to encourage everyone to contribute to projects here at Captain Coders Academy. Please do so. An easy one that I think is easy here, would be this new map button. I think this would be awesome for someone to implement. We're gonna have to wait for 10 because 9 is not long-term support. I'll probably upgrade to 9 in December. Lucky they mostly don't stream at the same time. Yeah. Okay. So before we can finish this, I'm realizing one thing I need to do in my board editor extensions, I need to be able to delete a selection, right? I need to be able to delete a bounding box because we're going to be moving it. I need to be able to remove a whole chunk of the board. So I need to have a remove selection. This select selection, get selection. I feel like maybe I should rename this get selection. Yeah, and keep in mind, long-term support with .NET is only 2 years, so it's not really long-term support. I find it's just a common thing to say. I love your programmer art, Redson. I love your programmer art. As a programmer artist myself, remove selection. Yeah, I think I want to change this to, I think this is a get selection. Get selection. I like that name better. I'm going to do a commit on that. Sure, or a refactor. Rename select section to get selection. Okay. Remove selection. Public static void remove selection. Board data board. This would be our bounding box selection. And these tests, I think, will be relatively easy to write. And they're going to mimic our board selection tests here. Okay. So I'm going to duplicate these here. Oh, it's actually not quite right. We can't quite do it this time. Robotech. I'm not familiar with Robotech stream. Remove 3x3 square. Okay. And our expected result is going to be this thing modified. Okay. So we're removing this selection now. Like that. Right, so we're actually going to remove that. Let's do an indent here. And our actual should be the expected. Oh no, I did this wrong. There's no... Do this. There we go. Okay. Under test. So this is modifying. Feels so dirty writing non-functional code sometimes. Send me a link. Nedson, send me a link. I'll check them out. I haven't heard of Robotech before. She makes robots. Sounds awesome. Robotech was a... I'm familiar with Robotech as a book series. Comic book. I think it was manga. I think there was a TV show too. I haven't seen the TV show, but when I was growing up, there's some Robotech books. It's like sci-fi. All right, so this here, we should remove this chunk here. All right, so 3x3, like that. This test will fail. And then we'll write an implementation for it. I'm not this nim. Those ones written by... yeah. So I'm assuming it was... I didn't realize it was William Shatner. That would make sense. I think that the TV show was different in the United... From what I understand, the TV show was different in the United States than it was in Japan. I don't know. See, now I'm not sure because I don't actually. I still enjoy throwing those episodes up on a trip down memory lane. Gotcha. I was a big fan of anime when I was younger. I feel like I am still a fan of, but I wouldn't consider myself a big fan. All right, so remove selection here. It's going to delete a section of the board. Okay, so we need to loop through all of the positions for... Oh, this one should be relatively easy. For each, I actually think this will fix board dot try. It's literally just dot remove tile position. I actually think this is all we need, because I think this actually removes figures by itself as well. Stony Eagle, oh Stony, my eagle. How you doing, friend? I'm doing absolutely wonderful on this beautiful Tuesday. I hope you're having a beautiful Tuesday as well. I think this is actually all we need for remove selection. That's actually much easier than I thought it was going to be. Almost feels like it doesn't need to be a whole method. And this should cover, just to make sure it covers it though. Let's add in a few more. Oh, that's interesting. When we remove a selection and it has a figure in it, do we remove the tiles under the figure? That's an interesting question. That's an interesting question. All right, so we're going to duplicate this. And we'll do remove selection with figure. All right, so this is going to be this box here. Let's put these back in. And the selection we're removing should be this chunk here. Okay, and I think this will still pass as well. It's your birthday in 17 days. Oh, congratulations on well, I'll tell you congratulations then, but on making it another year. Living for 365 days is harder than it might sound. Getting old. I'm gonna turn 18. I'm turning 18 for a second time. It's gonna be my second 18th birthday this year. Okay. The partial figure one is interesting. Okay. So here's a question. Here's a question. Riddle me this. Riddle me this. I have a board. I have a board. Like this. Yeah, that's what I'd expect to happen. When I remove the figure, all right, so if I say delete this section, it removes the figure but not the tiles associated with the figure. Oh, this will still work. Okay, yeah, this is still fine. This is still fine. All right, so, and then the last one would be remove selection with partial figure. Okay. So in this case, oh, we got another hat redeemed Proton. The fabulous, the unstoppable, the unfathomable Proton. Thank you for the hat redeem, folks. Be sure to go check out Proton Fig, the unstoppable Proton Fig. Incredible human being. Unstoppable programmer extraordinaire. All right, so in this case, we're going from 2, 2. We're doing 4. Oh no, I need to change this. This should be 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. This is 2 by 4. This is the section we cut out. All right, leaves everything else intact. Let's run it. The removal was much simpler, but this is this cool thing. We can, since we have this, we'll be able to refactor. Let's run all of our tests. Okay, I'm very, very happy with this. Get add .NET format. Let's go double check it here. Proton, I hope you've been well. I hope you're having a beautiful day, my friend. It's so lovely to see you when we get a chance. Get status. What format did not go through on that one. Oh, a new line. Okay, we'll add that in. Nope. I don't have one, Redston. I did stream yesterday, Proton. Today's a bonus stream. I haven't been streaming on Tuesdays because of work, but I'm not going to be streaming on Saturday, so I decided I would stream today instead. You can check your rank, but yeah, there's no leaderboard. Git commit -m feat implement board dot remove selection. Board dot remove selection. Okay. Proton number 11, almost the top 10, top 20. Redston in the top 85, top 100. The top 100 hits here at Captain Coder. 85.5, the captain. Okay, so we got that. I think we have everything we need to try and implement this in the UI now. All right, so I think we have everything we need to implement this in the UI. One thing I want to do to start out, let's go into our web editor and our components, our tile editor overlay. So one thing we can actually do now is we have a remove selection. Remove, check click, check drag, check drop. Apparently we already had to remove tiles. But we can do remove selection. Ooh. Parent.board.remove selection. Preview. That is interesting. Board data does not contain it. Is this internal? Board editor extensions. You did not. You did not. Feel free to drop it in Q or drop it on Discord. Board editor extensions. Remove. Why am I not getting this? Is there an import that it can suggest to me? Okay, so let's check, is this an actual error? Or is this IntelliSense giving us an error? Okay. This is not IntelliSense. I didn't mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. Build only. Files that we should sort by. Why don't I see that? Using Captain Coder dot tactics. Is it in a weird namespace? Oh, tactics engine. That's why. Namespace issue. Preview dot value. There we go. Let's double check, make sure we can still do that. Still works. Okay, so now we're using the remove selection, which is nice. I like that. What I want to implement is I want to be, if I'm holding shift and I select an area, it'll actually select it and it's going to like move it onto like a preview layer that we can use to drag that chunk around, which will be interesting. So I got to figure out exactly how I want to do that. Let's take a look at Proton's demo here. This is Proton's work on Amigas. Let me know if the volume's too loud. I turned it down a little bit. Finish gold. I'm always impressed by what you've done with the Amiga. It's 5 minutes long. We're not going to watch the whole thing. So we're going to jump to, here we go. This looks cool. This is great. Oh yeah, working on some parallax scrolling. Look at that parallax scrolling. 5 minutes is a little long for me to take, so I'm not going to do the whole thing. It's 5 minutes. But we'll jump around. Yeah. You know, it looks like it's just doing parallax. Very cool. Very cool. It says 5 right here. Very cool. Looks like it's just this scrolling for the rest of it. Nice. Very cool demo, Proton. Thank you so much for sharing. All right. All right, let's hop back into our code here. Well, I'm trying to get some stuff done, is what it is. You know, so this believe it or not, this stream is about me. This stream is about me, believe it or not. But you guys are part of the community. I wouldn't be here without you, but I do want to try and get some stuff done here. So we only got about 30 minutes left. I want to see if I can finish this up. Okay, so what I want to do here. Hyper, welcome back to the stream, by the way. It's about me. It's always about me. The stream's about, it's Stony Eagle, you're right. You're right, it is about you. Let's get you in here. So that's why I have the community showcase, right? So that's why I do have the community showcase, though. So that way we can take some time and look at your guys', you know, the stuff that the wonderful community is doing. I love taking some extra time to do it, but I still want to try and get things done on stream that I'm working on. Yeah. All right, so we got 30 minutes left here. It's about Redston. It's all about Redston. Redston, guess what? Did you know the world revolves around you? I don't know if you knew that. The world revolves around Redston, folks. True story. In fact, you're at the center of the universe, my friends. Okay. So what I want to do now is we're going to add in a shift. If we're holding shift, we're going to select an area. So I have this drag thing here. And so my code is starting to get really complex. I have I'm starting to have a lot of if statements here. And I feel like I want to start I'm about to introduce a third thing. So the rule of 3 is like, I'm doing this thing for a third time. It might make sense to actually introduce an abstraction here. Let's write it without the abstraction. Thank you for the hey. Thank you for the what.
Seems good.
Whoa.
Notice we're saying if we're doing control click here. Professor Vincere, thank you for the follow, Professor Vincere. Professor Vincere, Thank you for following me. Professor, welcome to the stream. Let me know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly or not. So glad to have you here on this beautiful day. Beautiful Tuesday. Hope you're having a beautiful Tuesday. Is erasing. So there's like different modes here. I'm about to start adding a thing that's like is erasing, is selecting, is this, is that. So now that I have these different modes, we have a draw mode, we have it like an add tile mode, we have an is erasing mode, we have a is selecting mode. I think it makes sense to add in a separate feature for this. So I think I want to start by refactoring whether or not we're adding or removing things, and then have that be dynamically chosen here rather than having this if statement. Because I'm going to start needing a second if statement. So I think I want to add an abstraction here. What's that link here? What's that link here? Let's double check that. We did history once again. Content is no longer available. So I think that link is not working for me. Yeah, when I click that link, I get a content's no longer available Proton. My guess is I need to be a member of some Discord, whichever Discord it's posted on. Posted on Captain Coder's Discord. Shy Programmer, how you doing, friend? Welcome back to the stream. Yeah, you made it. You made it. We still got 30 minutes. Still got 30 minutes. So I want to start with a refactor here. Where we have two modes. We have two modes. And let's add in it's like a tile editing tool type thing here. Yeah, so we're gonna need some state associated with it as well. Oh, and there's gonna be like a clipboard type thing going on with it as well. Yeah, I think I want to refactor. Check, click. What do we do when we click? What do we do when we drag? What do we do when we end? The drag start. So we're actually not going to do a drag start. Drag start and drag end are fine. But it's like, what do we do when we start? When we do a check drop and drag over? So our preview here needs to change. Enjoy your gaming. Thank you for the lurk. Thank you for the lurk. Yeah. It's a little tricky. Let me do it. All right, I'm going to do it without the abstraction yet. Instead, I want to have a single mode. Okay, let's check the picture. Let's check the picture real quick. Where did you drop it on the Discord? So you sent me this picture here? Oh, these are your awards. These are your awards. Awesome. Awesome. Those are some nice trophies. Congratulations on your trophies. Look at that. Those are beautiful. Congratulations. That's impressive. Thank you for sharing. Zoom in. Zoom in. Let's try it. So open in browser is going to do something weird. Hang on. Where's my blur button? There it is. Oh man, look at those guys' glasses. Proton, nice glasses. Demo competition, get second prize and winner. One file demo award, congratulations. Congratulations on your trophies. All right. Thank you for sharing. Okay, let's is erasing. It's like sort of like what is our cursor doing? This is where like I started earlier with this tool mode. Like how does the tool work? How does the abstraction work? Yeah, I'm thinking here. I want... give me just a second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. We're back. We're back. To be uninitiated. Regathian. Yeah. Okay. Our preview style, like the box we draw on. I need to consider how to do this without getting too crazy. So I don't want to over engineer yet. So my first thought is like, okay, let's go to like a class model. What if instead of a Boolean, we come up with an enum that are like our tile editor modes? Okay, let's start with that. I'm going to create, I'm about to add in a type here. Let's create a board. We have a tile editor overlay. Should I move this to editors? Let's just create, I'm not going to stress about it too much. I start stress, I'm like, Alt F2 is not the right button. Control F2, Shift F2. There we go. So we're going to create a tile editor mode. And this is going to be an enum. Flag. Like, part of me feels like this is not going to be sufficient. Right? Part of me is feeling like this is not going to be sufficient, but I'm like expanding as I go. Maybe I should, you know, hang on. Yeah, so I have 30 minutes. Maybe I shouldn't try and do this in this 30 minutes because I'm gonna have to break away. Maybe we should just do some planning instead. Like initially I was gonna do just a refactor. Okay. We have eraser. Really at the end of the day, it's like we have a selection. So we might make it so you can like do a selection and press delete and that will remove it rather than just control delete. Clicking and dragging, it could just select an area and then there could be like a fill tool. There's different ways I could approach this. But in just this one tile editor overlay doesn't feel sufficient. Doesn't feel sufficient. I really need a couple things. I need a clipboard, right? So it's like, what's the currently selected thing? Maybe this become rather than, well, I still need to be able to click and drag. It's like part of the paste. Maybe then just of selecting and moving, I implement cut, copy, and paste, or cut and paste to start out. And then drag, right? So cut and paste. So that satisfies what we're doing. That feels like the correct a better way to approach this, rather than select a section, you can drag it. If you select a section, you do a cut and remove everything, and you paste, and you can move stuff. And you can also select something, do a copy, and then paste, and then move it. So it's almost like we need a paste overlay, right? So board paste overlay. We need a board selection overlay, this tile editor section. Should not utilize or shouldn't? Should. Could drag and control plus drag should utilize the clipboard though. You know, should is a strong word. Should not. Drag and control plus drag should not utilize the clipboard. It currently doesn't. So this is sort of like my own, right? So it's like the clipboard in our current selection, something like that. That's an interesting thought. That's an interesting thought. Walks in, just walked in. Congratulations on your number 17. Glad to have you here. Yeah, so what are the interactions I want the user to have? Because initially I was thinking I do think a shift select to highlight an area I want to select. So I do think a shift select would be nice. Let's start with that. We're prototyping. If you were to select some text and control drag it, then clipboard would not be affected. Yeah, I see. I'm considering this to be like our internal clipboard as well. So that's an interesting thing, because I'm not selecting text. It's, yeah, it shouldn't affect it that way. That's interesting. I hadn't considered that it's like our internal clipboard. Let me see if I can get a selection showing up on the screen. Private bounding box selection. All right, so this is sort of what I want. We have a selection. Our preview is kind of doing that. The selection will be if we're pressing shift. All right, so I'm gonna do it this way, and then I think I want to refactor it after erase, select, add. Yeah, this is why I wanted to do the enum, erase, select, add. You'll notice that I'm adding so much state to this that it's feeling gnarly. So our preview, it's like the preview of what we're adding in. Wonder if it just makes sense to add in a selection tool as a sub component. Can we add in a sub component? It almost needs to be a second thing here. Like an additional thing. Because when we release here, I'm realizing the way I've structured this is interesting. It kind of, I want it to display on both these. I might add in a second board that's sort of like a board overlay between them. Yeah. I'm trying to decide how I want to actually implement it. Like I'm doing some planning in my head here. I almost want to put our selection. I want it to be displayed even. So right now, the preview is only being displayed when we're dragging, right? When I release, it should still be visible. Our preview is being shown inside of the dropping area, and so it disappears when we let go. So I can't put the selection here, and I can't put it here, and it needs to be external from that. So part of me is thinking I should add in a selection you know, selected, like a selection element here. This, like, I'm considering doing this selection tool, renderer, some kind of element that displays what's currently selected on the screen. And this could also include like our copy paste. This is the thing that lets us drag that component around. And we can send it information, right? So part of me is thinking I want to add this. It feels... yeah, feels interesting. So, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to add in, when I select it, it'll leave like, in, maybe we do yellow, right? So I select this section and it will just leave this section highlighted like that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to apply it to the tiles themselves. Instead, it will be a thing that's over, because the tile, there's like a tile and there's a tile renderer. I don't want to have to redraw the whole board to get that effect in, and I don't want to add in like a weird listener that says, oh, by the way, go notify, you need to keep track of all the tiles and some sort of lookup and then go notify them. I guess we could do that. That's an option. It wouldn't be that hard to do that, but then I have to like a loop that goes through and notifies each of those subcomponents. Considerations. I could do... because I know how to hack it in. I know how to hack it in. And I'm just trying to be careful with it. Is erasing, is selecting. Can be. Not always. Sometimes hacks are like really nice. They end up being really nice sometimes. Or they can. There's like a selection tool. Cope. That's fair. That's fair. They're cool to you now. If you look back at them later, they're horrific. They can be horrific in the like future use problem, right? Yeah, I'm gonna write this in a... I could just write it in a terrible way. Okay. When we start our drag, we should decide what we're doing. Okay, here's what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try yeah. Here's what I'm gonna do. I think I really want to do this. This is going to be our tool preview. All right, so I think this is essentially what I want. We want one more thing that overlays the board. This should show up preview enabled. This is where like the subcategories. Our tool is gonna show in this thing here. There's a hotkey to switch. Let's see, Blasm, show switch to Nesify. Control Alt N. Come on, Control Alt N. Oh, there we go. There needs to be a layer. We need a preview layer here. Preview enabled. Preview layer. Okay, so there's a refactor I'm doing. Yeah, we're going to refactor to separate into a tool. We're going to do the add tiles tool. We're going to do the remove tiles tool. And then I'm going to add in the select tiles tool. So I think that abstraction makes sense. That tool will be shown in this preview layer. And so we're going to start with that refactor and see how I feel about it. Let's go up to our .css. I believe it's in our board renderer. Yeah. So our preview layer should be here, and then our drag layer gets moved up. So we're adding in a layer. Preview layer goes below the drag layer. Drag layer needs to be on top so it gets those drag effects in. We're gonna move this into the preview layer, and then our preview enabled here. So here's the IntelliSense not working for me. All right, this is an error. There's no variable called, oh, this is, hang on, preview. Oh, preview enabled here. Oh, it is, okay. So I don't think I need this. Thought this was going to be an issue. Let's test it. Let's see if we broke it. Let's see if it builds. IntelliSense has issues with Blazor stuff. Razor, I should say Razor things. Often when I'm in Razor, I have issues. Is this actually, let's do a full refresh here. All right, this is still working. That's still working. So we just pulled this out so that way it's not inside it. We'll show it here. There's a preview layer. The tool itself. Mushi, welcome back to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Right, so that would allow us to do some different things. I want my drag start to select a tool. I want my check drop to forward that tool. So check drop, check drag over. Should forward some things. Or maybe I don't even need that now. But let's do a hack. And then figure out if I can rewrite it. Is selecting. There's the IntelliSense I was talking about. Missing a property name before the colon. Charles, how you doing? Charles Cleven. Great to see you. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. Is selecting. Then we have, so it's like our updating our preview here. So the preview is actually the selected area. If we're holding shift, okay. So on our drag start, we're going to say if args.control key is erasing equals true, else if args dot, this is where this feels weird, dot shift, shift key, there it is selecting equals true. We'll do is erasing equals false, is selecting equals false. I'm doing fabulous. Thank you for asking. Or thank you. I didn't get you to ask. I'm doing absolutely fabulous. Any day I could wake up and code is a beautiful day. And today is no different. Add or remove tiles. This will become, yeah, add or remove tiles. This is interesting. If we is erasing, so there's more information here. Yeah. Really, this should be preview style. Preview. All right, we can do the following. Add tiles. Remove tiles. Select tiles. We're adding a lot of state here. Buzzy, welcome into the stream over on YouTube. Happy Tuesday. We're essentially writing our own custom engine. So we're building just a editor right now. So we haven't implemented like the whole game yet. We're in the process of building a tool to create our maps, create our boards, create our scenarios. And I'm using Blazor as a framework for creating a web application. So this is going to be, let me fix this real quick. I'll show you a preview in just a moment. So we're going to say, yeah, so this is, notice we're getting into some, notice how many Booleans I have here. Is adding equals false. Else is adding is true. So we're in a gnarly place here. Is adding equals false. We're gonna need to refactor this. This is gnarly. So notice add tiles now becomes is adding. Then we're gonna be add tiles or null. Duplicate this 3 times. We have remove tiles. We have select tiles. So like this fills remove tiles. Is that what the name was? Remove tiles, and we have another one called select tiles. Is erasing, and my naming's a little bad. It should be is removing, is erasing, is selecting, select tiles. And just so we can see it here, I can add in select tiles. And RGB, what is yellow? Brown color. I should really know this. It likes this. 255 and then D8. So like 120, something like that. And just select this? No, it doesn't like that. Because I want the opacity in there. Alright. But like a true yellow, I think would be this 255, 255, and let's have a 0.25 on the opacity here. So our preview should still be drawn. Is selecting. I'm gonna change this to an enum. I'm gonna show you the refactor there, and then I think we got to get out of here because I have work coming up. Let's have a look here. And then there's, yeah, this enum is going to be so important. Enum, I should say. Enum, no, enum is right. Enumerated type. So I can still add, I can still remove. Selection right now is going to look like that, but right now it just adds, right? So we're saying if we're not erasing, we must be adding. So now I have like 3 different modes. I have some different modes to do here. And And the selection sort of should stay on. We don't reset our select until we do something else. So we can see what that looks like. Yeah, so now this is if is adding, else if. You'll notice this is horrible, right? Is erasing, else if, and in this case, is selecting. We're not doing anything yet. Custom engine use, I am using C#. I'm using C#. Great question. You can actually check out, here, let me send you the link. It's completely open source. Let me paste this over to the YouTube chat. I need like a YouTube bot. Oh, won't let me paste that much. Yeah, we have the full source code here. And it's inspired by a game we made called Cosmic Encounter. And then we're revamping that tool. So we actually made a game called Cosmic Encounter that had like a semi-tactical combat. So if I go to Captain, Coder, oh, don't have that loaded up here. Let's copy this link. So it's based off of this game we made previously. That had, and this was made in C# and Unity, which used a 2D grid here. And you know, it was what I'd call primitive. It was a primitive tactics combat game. It's a little bit primitive here, and so we're revising it. But yeah, we have this board editor here. You can add stuff to this board. You can change the board. You can delete the board. We're in the process of building out our editor so we can set up scenarios that'll make it a little bit easier for us to test and understand if our code is working. Yeah, but Buzzy, glad you're with us. Feel free to keep asking any questions. I love and trying to answer questions. Backseat coding is totally welcome as well. All right, so you'll notice there's some gnarliness here. And our preview enabled is no longer, yeah, our preview, when we end the drag, we're say if we is not selecting, that's when the preview ends. All right, so this is getting like kind of chunky. Can we swap this in? So now the preview should stay on. There we go. So we have a preview there, it stays on. Oh, that's interesting. That's stuck on top. Okay, so our layers are wrong here. Our layers, let's go into our layers. Preview layer needs to be below. Ooh, what layer do we put that on? Is it on the tile layer? Probably below the figure layer. Tile. Let's look at what layer are we on for this. Board overlay enabled. It's on the tile layer. So it actually should be below the tile layer. That's interesting. Detestment. I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Thank you for asking. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Ooh, I missed your follow. Detestment. I'd like to welcome you to the crew. Thank you so much for the follow. Glad to have you here on this beautiful day. So yeah, our preview layer should actually be up here. Let's try that. Okay, let's do a refresh. Can do this. The preview layer is too high. Preview layer is too high. Why is that? Preview enabled. Oh, I need to make this on a... I'm not even using... Preview needs to be... Oh, preview enabled. Hang on. Preview enabled. Preview enabled. There it is. I've been getting my interest piqued in programming again, but I don't even understand basic stuff like how to read and write code or functions. That's why I've categorized Mesmerize and Watch. Glad you're enjoying it. Here are my, I'm a big fan of C#. You'll see mostly C# on this channel. Here's some suggestions I have. My favorite book is the C# Player's Guide. I think it's a fantastic place to start. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. So the question is, should my preview layer, I need my preview layer, yeah, I guess my preview layer should be above. There's so many like side things to do about here. Yeah, when I click, if I do just a click, I need to turn my preview off as well. Check click. This should be preview is null. We're gonna go ahead and end the preview. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, D Testament. So now if we, oh, I gotta do a push. All right, so this is getting gnarly. Oh, no worries, D Testament. That's just to prevent spam bots. Once it thinks it's once you've been here for an hour. Once you've been a member for an hour, it stops blocking links. Just a heads up. So don't be afraid to post links. I like the sharing. So if we click there we go. Now it'll disable it. We should be able to click away. Should be able to end that. Probably need to make. All right. So there's so much more to do here to get it working. It's older. So the yellow book is older. It covers a lot of the same stuff. It doesn't cover a lot of the new features that have come out in the last 3 years. So the yellow book, I think, hasn't been updated in 3 or 4 years. And so there's some new fancy, nice features that we lose out on. All right. So this is my first attempt at this. Clearly, there's too much state going on here. Notice all of this. Notice all of that. I need to break this down into different components. One for adding, one for erasing, one for selecting. So there's a bunch of different stuff. Yeah, the C# Player's Guide is pretty up to date. The new version, they're on C# 12. The latest version's on C# 12. The yellow book, I think, is C# 9. So it's 3 versions behind. Is that 3, 9, 10, 11, 12? Yeah, 3 versions behind. All right, we got to wrap up here. Let's find someone to raid. Open up to suggestions if you got. What game is the map editor you're going to make B for? Oh, it's going to be for my own game. We're making our own game. Yeah, so we're making our own game. At the end of the day, it's going to be a turn-based tactical board game that's based on this game called Descent: Journeys in the Dark. And so this is, I need my editor to be able to produce this here. Right? Nice try, Detestment. Only I have the power. But yeah, this is what we're doing here. I got to wrap up for today because I got to get to work. But I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. I'm going to encourage you guys to join the Discord if you want to know the exact time. In the Discord, there's a scheduled channel that'll show it in your own time. But yeah, over on the Discord, we have a lot of fun talking and chatting and hanging out and answering questions. So I'm going to encourage you to join the Discord. But if you want to know when I'm going to stream next, check over on the schedule tab. These are displayed in your local time zone. So we'll be back tomorrow. But we're going to raid out of here. I think we're going to raid Magatron. Doing game dev. Ooh, Magatron. Let's see. Magatron's doing game dev in Unreal. Magatron doesn't do code, but she does visual scripting. So we're going to raid Magatron. Everyone, thank you so much for hanging out. Remember to keep coding, keep growing, keep being the best you can be. You're welcome back anytime. Yeah, Magatron does stuff in Unreal. Yeah. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you tomorrow. Had that type of stuff. Yeah. Unreal has what's called blueprints, so you can do game dev using blueprints. It's like a drag and drop visual editor. Pretty cool stuff. Magatron's a fun streamer. All right, folks, we'll be back tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Keep coding, keep growing, keep being the best you can be. You're welcome back anytime. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.